Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Monotui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and today I'm bringing you guys our PPL Season 5 Week 9 match versus Mr. Murkrow, who is replacing the Don Fanatic, coach of the Norwich Skitty for this game. He unfortunately could not make it to this game, so he decided to get a replacement coach, and that replacement coach is Mr. Murkrow, who is a very good battler. Definitely check out his YouTube link in the description below. For a quick team rundown, as you can see, we have actually a Charcoal Trick Room Victini. It doesn't do as much work versus the team that he decided to bring because he brought a very slow team, but there were a lot of fast threats on Jack's team that he decided to not bring. So, but regardless, Trick Room Charcoal Victini is still pretty cool. Trick Room, V-Create, Zen Headbutt, and Energy Ball, which is very nice for his team. Then we have Special Defensive, Gliscor, Earthquake, Roost, Toxic Stealth Rock are going to be also very useful for his team. Rocks are big. He does not have removal on his team unless he has Defog Togekiss, and I do have responses to that. Mega Venusaur, also very, very good. This Mega Venusaur, I believe, has Toxic in order to hit things such as the Goodra, as well as the Necrozma, which is going to be very useful. Then we just have Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, we have Sludge Bomb and Synthesis, which is very nice. Then we have Specially Defensive Klefki, relatively standard spikes. Also has Heal Block, which is really cool. That can stop like a Rest Goodra or Klefki from roosting, or even something like Necrozma from moonlighting up, even Gastrodon from possibly recovering, which is going to be pretty cool. Then we have a Trick Room Ghostium Z Nasty Plot Cofagrigus with mono attacking Shadow Ball. He didn't have a Ghost Resist on the entirety of his team, so that is pretty much why I have that. Nasty Plot, Ghostium Z, Shadow Ball, going to hurt pretty much everything on his team. It's going to do quite a bit of damage to everything on his team. Even regular Shadow Ball is very spammable across his team. It hurts Necrozma, can hurt Togekiss. Same thing with the Infernape, the Gastrodon, even I can set up versus. The Steelix I can set up versus, assuming it can't phase me out. The Goodra, unless it has Dragon Tail, I can set up versus it pretty easily, assuming I have a Trick Room up. Then we have a, I believe that is a Special Defensive Licky, kind of this there to take on the Togekiss as well as the Necrozma, possibly the Goodra as well, switch into like Specs variants of Goodra. And possibly Wish Protect up my team. It's also Earthquake, Ice Beam, Wish Protect, so it can hit a good majority of this team. No, Earthquake, Fire Blast, Wish Protect, so it can heal up a lot of things with my team, as well as get some damage off onto things like the Steelix and the Infernape. So, did I say Fire Blast, Ice Beam? I meant Fire Blast, Earthquake. Regardless, let us just get into this game. As you're going to see here, I'm going to lead with my Venusaur, and we're going to go right for a Mega Evolution, and we are just going to hit this thing with the Hidden Power Fire, popping this thing's Aqua Berry, which is going to be very nice for my Victini, as he is going to get up his Stealth Rock, which I have no way to remove. However, what he is going to do then is switch out into his Necrozma. I'm going to predict this, or the Goodra, and go right for the Toxic, and now this Necrozma is going to be on a timer, which is very, very nice. And I do have a Special Defensive Gliscor in order to switch into this. However, he is actually going to be Life Orb, and that is going to do a lot of damage to me, and I unfortunately do not know if he is faster than me, because I'm not running a lot of speed on my Gliscor, so I have to switch out, and I'm going to go right out into my Klefki, which can take on the Psychic a little bit better because it is resisted, obviously, and what I will be able to do is start setting up my hazards. So as you're going to see here, he is going to hard switch right out into his Gastrodon, and I will be able to set up a Spike, which is really good for me, because that'll get chip damage onto everything on his team by the Togekiss, and then what I can do is just switch right back out into my Venusaur, and not going to really make any crazy predictions, as he is going to go right into his Togekiss, and I don't want this thing being faster than me and hitting me with an Air Slash, so I'm just going to go right back out into my Klefki, as he does go right for that Air Slash, as it is not going to be able to do too much damage to me. And what I can do is, I believe, just go for another Spike, unless I go for the Toxic here. No, yeah, I go for another Spike in order to start stacking up versus him, and I'm going to go for another Spike, as he's going to go right for the Heavy Slam, which is very nice for me, because I didn't think he'd go for Earthquake, because I do have the Gliscor that can switch in, and possibly go for a Roost. So what I'm going to do is now just go right out into my Mega Venusaur, as he hits me with another Heavy Slam. Not going to do a lot of damage, because I am relatively heavy myself, and here I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb, expecting him to want to switch out, but unfortunately he stays in and just goes for the Roar, and he roars me out into Licky, which I do have Fire Blast, so I will be able to go for that here. Do some nice damage to him. The Aqua Berries pop, so it'll do a lot, and then he is just going to hit me with a little bit of damage with the Earthquake. Now, however, what I can do, I believe I go for another Fire Blast here, or no, I actually go for a Wish, and then what we are going to do is just switch right back out into our Victini, or not back out, but switch right out into our Victini so that we can take on whatever he wants to do, and he is actually going to go for the Nasty Plot, and as you're going to see, he doesn't know that we're slower than him, which is very good. So what I can actually do is just stay in and actually end up, no, I double. Why did I double? Oh yeah, I doubled into Gliscor. Cool, why did I? Oh yeah, because I needed to sack something, because even though he didn't know, I knew that I would not be able to outspeed the Togekiss, and I didn't want to get hit with a +2 Air Slash. Regardless, I'm going to Toxic the Togekiss. That's going to be very useful for later on, and what I can actually do now is go for the Roost because I will be able to outspeed him, and he's actually going to miss his first Air Slash. Pretty unfortunate. I am specially defensive, and I would have been able to take it, but regardless, that damage would have been very nice. And now what I'm going to do is just get up my rocks, get up my final hazard, as he is going to go for another Nasty Plot, and the fact that he went for another Nasty Plot kind of reveals this whole set to me. It's going to be Air Slash, Roost, Heal Bell, and Nasty Plot. So he is going to go right for that Heal Bell as I send in my Klefki, and he's also going to get rid of the poison on the Necrozma, which makes that pretty annoying. But however, I can go for the Thunder Wave onto this Togekiss, let him knock me out, and then I can go out into my let's see, what did I go out into? I believe I'm gonna go out into my Victini and not be able to knock him out with a charcoal boosted V-Create. So as you can see here, he is just gonna go out into his Gastrodon, which will be 2 KO'd by the Adamant Charcoal V-Create. Because the Gastrodon is so slow, I will be able to outspeed him at -1 speed despite the fact that I am min speed, and I'm just gonna knock him out with the Zen Headbutt so that I don't have to lower my speed any further. Now he is going to go right out into his Goodra, which is not too big of a problem because I do have my Licky to switch into it, except for the fact that he is Rest, so he's going to be able to get back all of his HP. Not the worst thing in the world at this point in time, because it could just be Rest, Sleep Talk, 2 attacks. So I'm just going to go right back out into my Cofagrigus here because I see this as an opportunity to start setting up. However, as you're going to see here, he is going to Sleep Talk, get the Rest. Also very nice for me, and now what I can do is just attempt to go for the Nasty Plot, as he is going to reveal the Curse, which is a pretty big problem, and it's not a set that I expected him to bring because I do have Klefki, which was going to be immune. And now what I have to do is go for the Never-Ending Nightmare, as he's going to Dragon Tail me out. Thankfully, we do get him very, very low. However, he is going to be able to Dragon Tail me out. He's going to lose Sap Sipper, that's cool. But he's going to send me out into Licky, which is not something that I can knock this out with. If I was Dragon Tailed out into Victini, I would have been able to knock this thing out. If I were Dragon Tailed out into Gliscor, I believe I may have been able to knock him out, but I unfortunately ended up being Licky, and that's not very good for us. I'm going to wish, and then I'm going to send out my Victini attempting to get it healed, but he's going to get the Dragon Tail roll going his way, and he's going to force me out into Mega Venusaur. Once again, something that cannot touch this Goodra, and it's basically just going to be a war of can I get some sort of, maybe a crit in order to knock this thing out? Can I set up with my Cofagrigus and be able to deal with this thing? It's not looking great at this point, but what I can do is go right out into my Cofagrigus and go for the Pain Split. That's another way I can kind of deal with this thing, is by Pain Splitting it. Getting back, keeping my Cofagrigus healthy, and then weakening his Goodra. Once again, he's going to Dragon Tail me out into my my Mega Venusaur. I need to be Dragon Tailed out into my Gliscor in order to attempt to crit it with Earthquake, but you know, obviously that's not happening. And I can Toxic this thing and put it on a timer, but obviously it's not going to be very important because he does have Rest. I do force him to go for Rest at some point, and as you're going to see here, it's not going to be this turn. He's just going to go for Curse on this turn, and he has a very free Dragon Tail here. Like, I can hit him, but I actually decided to go for the Nasty Plot instead, as he goes for the Rest, so I guess maybe I didn't make a mistake. But this is a good opportunity for me, because now I can go for Shadow Balls, and if he does not get the right Dragon Tail rolls, I'll be good. So I'm going to get the Spadef drop too, that's even better. He's going to get Rest, and now I can just go for Shadow Ball once again and possibly get enough damage onto this thing to beat it later. However, he's going to be smarter than that. He is just going to sack off his Necrozma because he knows that he can rest up and set up a little bit later. So very good play on his part, obviously. And now he can go right out and do his Fernape, which will be able to knock me out no matter what I want to do. Had I predicted that switch, I could have gone for the Trick Room, but it was I wasn't 100% sure that he was going to do it. Here, he's going to go for Flare Blitz on my Licky. He's not going to be able to knock me out. And then what he is going to do is just switch right out into his Togekiss, as I believe I do go for the Earthquake, trying to knock out the Infernape. And because this thing is paralyzed, I can not really play around it, but I can kind of deal with it. I'm going to go into my Mega Venusaur. He's forced to go for the Heal Bell in order to get off the paralysis. I may outspeed him because my Gliscor outsped him, and I don't have too much speed on Gliscor. As you're going to see here, I do not outspeed him. He's going to hit me with the Air Slash, but thankfully I do not flinch, and I will be able to smack him with a Sludge Bomb and get the poison So a couple things definitely going my way, which is very nice. I kind of need them to go my way at this point because he has his Goodra left. He's going to go for Heal Bell. Very smart play on his part because he can outspeed me and get rid of the sleep on Goodra, which means that he can go right back out into it, go for Rest once again, and then be able to just start setting up and beating me. So he's going to go for the Rest here. I basically need to crit him a couple times with Gliscor in order to win this game. Either that or I need to find another opportunity to set up with my Cofagrigus. So as you can see there, we're going to do 37%. Depending on Sleep Talk rolls, we can be good. He's going to get a Rest here. That's very good for me. I can hit him with another Earthquake, possibly get a 2 KO off onto him. As you can see here, going to do 37% once again, but he is going to be able to get the Curse. So if I get the crit here, I will be able to win this game, because I'll be able to knock this out and live whatever Infernape wants to do. But as you can see here, that is not going to happen. He's going to live the next Earthquake, and he's going to be able to rest up, but it's still not over, because I do still have those chances to crit him. And a crit Earthquake from Gliscor is going to do quite a bit of damage. I'm going to go into Cofagrigus because if he does not get Dragon Tail, I can Pain Split him. He is going to get a second Curse. That's not very good for me, but it's better than him getting Dragon Tail. Once again, because I can just go for the Pain Split. However, he is going to go for Sleep Talk. Thankfully, get Rest, not the Dragon Tail. I can Pain Split, get myself back to a very good amount of health, and weaken him a bit. And then on this turn, I can just fire off a Shadow Ball, getting off some chip damage for when he Dragon Tails me out. And if I'm sent into Gliscor and I crit him, I will be able to knock him out. As you can see, I do get sent out into Gliscor. And now, if I'm able to crit him, there is a decent chance I'll be able to knock him out. As you can see here, we are not going to get that crit. And he is able to curse up once again. However, with him cursing, he is risking me getting the crit here. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake again. Once again, just no crit. And he's going to go for another curse. And he's really risking this crit. And so we are going to go for another Earthquake. And no, we're not. We're going to go into Cofagrigus because I know he's going to rest and I'm going to Pain Split. Probably should have just gone for the crit there. That would have been a little bit smarter, but I guess I'm playing for a crit a little bit later on. Because I can Pain Split, I can get my Cofagrigus healthy. As you see there, we're going to weaken him quite a bit. He's going to get another curse. And I could have gone for, I believe, do I go for Nasty Plot here? I think that's my best play if that isn't what I do. Yeah. I go for Nasty Plot here on the off chance he doesn't get the Dragon Tail, but as you are going to see, he is going to Sleep Talk, go for the Rest, and now I can smack him with a +2 Shadow Ball, do a decent bit of damage to him. And as you're going to see, do 35%, that's nice, but unless he misses this Dragon Tail, which he does not, then he is still in a very good position. Once again, going into Gliscor, once again, have that chance to crit him. If I do crit him, I will be able to knock him out at this point. No crit though. No crit there, and he goes for the Dragon Tail. And then that is going to force me out into Licky Licky. And a Earthquake from Licky Licky, a crit Earthquake from Licky Licky will not be able to knock him out. Gliscor's Earthquake is way stronger. That Earthquake's going to go off, it's not going to do anything. He's going to knock me out with Dragon Tail, however, which means that I can go back out into my, my Cofagrigus, go for Pain Split, weaken him a little bit more. I'm actually going to go for Shadow Ball because, why not? And then he's going to get the Split F drop, and then he's going to go for the Rest. And what I can do here is, I believe, just go for the Pain Split, which is really good for me, because with the Split F drop, I might be able to beat him. But as you're going to see here, he's going to get the Dragon Tail, and he is going to be able to weaken me to the point where I cannot switch into Rocks. And now he has to stay asleep 2 turns, and I need to get at least 1 crit. And as you can see, Earthquake's going to go out. It's not going to crit. He is going to go for Sleep Talk, get the Rest, and again, just praying for a crit here, because if I crit him here, I can actually knock him out with Venusaur and probably live a hit from the Infernape with my Venusaur. But he's going to wake up, he's going to go for Dragon Tail. He is going to miss. I think that's the first Dragon Tail miss of this game. If you watch the NPL finals, you know that Dragon Tail's a basically 20% accurate move. But regardless, he's going to go for Rest here. That's pretty much going to seal up the game, because unless I get like 2 crits in a row, which considering I haven't gotten any is pretty unlikely. So we're going to Earthquake, and we're not going to do any damage. He is going to go for, he's not even going to Sleep Talk here. He can't because well, no, he could have there. I'm not sure why he didn't, but I'm going to Earthquake. He's going to be asleep. He's going to go for the Sleep Talk, going to get the Dragon Tail. He's going to hurt my face, and then we're going to go out into our Venusaur, which can't touch this thing in the slightest. Again, we had Toxic for this, but it doesn't matter at this point. So he's going to wake up, he's going to go for Dragon Tail, do a lot of damage to me, and then we're going to get sent out into Gliscor. I'm obviously not taking 50% from Dragon Tail now, but once he sets up another curse, he'll be able to beat my Venusaur 1v1 100%. He can stall me out of synthesize, whatever. Regardless, this Goodra I'm going to go for Toxic onto it, again, just to force it to rest at some point. He's going to Dragon Tail me out. Well, again, he's doing too much damage to my Gliscor for me to be able to beat him 1v1. As you're going to see here, I'm going to just go for the Synthesis. We're going to get back up to a decent amount of HP, but he can just go for the Dragon Tail. And, you know, again, like, he would have been able to stall me out of Synthesis anyway, because I only have 8. And we're going to send in Gliscor, or we're going to be forced out into Gliscor. We can go for the Roost, get ourselves back to a decent amount of HP, but he's just going to knock us clean out with the +6 Dragon Tail. And then, we just don't really have a play here. I'm going to go out into Cofagrigus, dies to Rocks, then Venusaur is going to come out. It is also going to die to Rocks. And that is going to be a good game to Mr. Murkrow. So, very, very long game. I probably could have skipped ahead on a couple turns, but I didn't really want to. Regardless, very, very well played by Murk. Again, I didn't expect the Cursed Dragon Tail Goodra set just because I do have Klefki that walls it completely, and I do have Play Rough on Klefki in order to hit it super effectively. But obviously, and it makes sense, his thought process was that he could pressure Klefki into making me sack it so that he can beat, he can set up with this Goodra, and that makes sense. Like, Nasty Plot Togekiss can chip away at it, Life Orb Necrozma chips away at it, Gastrodon obviously beats it, Steelix beats it, Infernape obviously beats it, so he wasn't fearing Klefki too much, even though it was able to do a very good job hazard stacking, as well as spreading some status onto his team. It was not really meant to stick around too long in this game, and he took full advantage of that. He was able to set up with his Goodra, and then completely sweep my team with the Dragon Tail set. And without me being able to get any crits on the Goodra, there was just really no way I could beat it. So, very good game to Murk. Unfortunately, this is like the one game, or like the second game all season, I didn't bring Taunt on Gliscor. If I had Taunt on Gliscor, we would have been fine. If I had Dragon Tail and Licky Licky, we would have been fine as well. But unfortunately, that's not just what ended up happening. Again, Taunt Gliscor would have been great. I think if I had Taunt on Gliscor, I would have been able to win this game 3 or 4-0. But again, very, very good set by Murk. And unfortunately, we are going to take this loss. However, next week we are going up against Jolt of the Token Minorities. That's a game I'm very excited to play. I've been looking forward to playing Jolt for a very long time now. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next game.